All right. Okay, nice to meet you all after a little break. And this is going to be our final week, right? Week or weekend. um, can I share the screen, please? Okay, I got it. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Okay. Today's class is about foundation. Its fundamentals. It's going to be um, also like a summary of many of our classes that we have taken so far. So I would like to invite all of you to do a chanting with me today instead of a meditation. Let's do it like a meditation. Okay? Are you ready? A very important chanting. This is called actually Mangala Sutta. We have already learned it, right? So now we have the screen here. We have the meaning, also the Pali. Um, so let's read the Pali chanting, okay? Everyone together. But I know you should not, I think, open the, I mean, you can unmute, you can mute and chant. Otherwise, it will be very disturbing thing, especially in an online format like this. Okay, let's get started. Mangala Suttam, Discourse on Blessings. Evaṁ me sutaṁ ekhaṁ samayang bhagava savattheyang viharati jetavane anatha pindikassa arame athako anyatara devata abhekkhang thaya rattiya abhekkhang tavangna කේවල කප්පං ජේතවනං ඕභාසෙත්වා යේන භගවාතේනුපසංකමි උපසංකමිත්වා භගවන්තං අභිවාදෙත්වා ඒකමන්තං අට්ඨාසී Ekamantang thita khosa devata bhagavantang gathaya ajbhasi bahudeva manusacha mangalani achintayung Akankamana sotthanang bruhi mangala muttamang asevanacha balanang panditanang cha sevana pujacha pujaniyanang etang mangala muttamang Patirupadesavasoch Pumbecha Kata Punyata Atta Sangma Panidhicha Etang Mangala Muttamang Bahu Satchang Cha Sippang Cha Vinayo Cha Susikhito Subhasita Cha Yavacha Etang Mangala Muttamang Mata Pitu Pathanang Puttadarasa Sangaho අනාකුලාච කම්මංතා ඒතං මංගල මුත්තමං දානංච ධම්මචරයාච ඥාතකානංච සංගහෝ අනවජ්‍යානි කම්මානි ඒතං මංගල මුත්තමං ආරති විරති පාපා මජ්ජපානාච සංයමෝ අප්පමාදෝච ධම්මේසු ඒතං මංගල මුත්තමං ගාරවෝච නිවාතෝච සංතුට්ඨීච කතං කාලේන ධම්ම සවනං ඒතං මංගල මුත්තමං කංතිච සෝව චස්සතා සමනානං ච දස්සනං කාලේන ධම්ම සාකච්ඡා ඒතං මංගල මුත්තමං තපෝච බ්‍රහ්මචරියංච අරය සච්ඡාන දස්සනං නිබ්බාන සච්චි කිරියාච ඒතං මංගල මුත්තමං හොට්ඨස්ස ලෝක ධම්මේහි චිත්තං යස්සන කංපති අසෝකං විරජං khemං ඒතං මංගල මුත්තමං ඒතාදිසානි කତ୍වාන සම්බද්ධම පරාජිතා සබ්බත්ථ සොත්තිං ගච්ඡං තිතං තේසං මංගල මුත්තමන්ති ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන සොත්ථිතේ හෝතු සබ්බදා ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන හෝතු තේ ජය මංගලං ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන හෝතු තේ ජය මංගලං ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන හෝතු තේ ජය මංගලං. Let us say 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. Okay. Now one word reflection. Okay, so these chantings are also really beautiful, very healing. Whenever you can also chant. You don't have to chant exactly the same way I chant. You can chant the way you like. You can follow it. And if you like to chant the English that is also fine. Whichever, especially when we have some issues, when we have some problems, when you are sick, when you are down, when you are sad, when you feeling, some kind of anxiety or something. I recommend you read some of these chanting. That will be really, really wonderful. um, Also, if you can reflect on them, and you can also meditate. This can be used for a meditation object. As After reading chanting, you can close your eyes and sit for a while, even 5 minutes. That will be really very helpful. So the topic here again is foundation of Buddhist culture based on its fundamentals. So today we will discuss many things like these different kinds of culture. We already have seen some of these things. I want you to reflect on your old memory, and so like some decorations, the Buddhist culture is so full of very rich in culture, the art and craft and the chantings and prayers, blessings and healings. So this was an occasion where I personally attended in Bangalore, Mahabodhi Society, with hundreds of monks. We were chanting. This is a beautiful Bodhi tree there. And there, I also had the opportunity to talk to these monks who were newly ordained, and also these chantings together, and the practicing together. These are all parts of the culture, especially this beautiful tradition, what we call alms round, is a unique tradition among the Buddhist monks, and only Buddhist monks would go for this alms round. This is a famous first meditation center in Sri Lanka. The monks would go barefoot, and they would have their alms bowl, and then the people would offer some food to the monks. And if you ever find a monk walking with a bowl, you know, it could be sometime in your neighborhood. If you find, you have to offer some food to them. Okay, and then the meditation also very unique part of our practice, our culture, Buddhist culture. And then the lotus, the flower. And as we were discussing about this, we can see many, many things. Yeah, it's the culture, it's the aesthetic, it's the nature, it's the color, all the colorful things, and also the philosophy behind this. Like, as I mentioned, like how the lotus starts from the mud and then comes out of the water, and then it blooms. It makes everyone happy. It brings solace, peace, happiness, healing to many. So, and also it reflects the final liberation, just like an enlightened one who do not touch the who actually have been coming out of the mud and then untouched with all the defilements, who have got rid of all the defilements. So these are all really powerful lessons that we learn. The Buddha's compassion. It's like it is said, they are like people on standing on top of a mountain, who could see the people, below, what they do. They can see, and they can monitor them, and they can bless them. So the Buddha, it is said, every single day he would scan the world as to whom he should help, he should rescue from this misery of samsara. So that's another compassionate practice by the Buddha. So this is again part of our Buddhist culture. You can see the Buddha is surrounded by these monks, who the people who wanted to follow his path, and not only the humans but also the divine beings, celestial beings. They would also respect the Buddha for his powerful um, path and teachings. Mark, you have a question?
Yes, Bante. So I've noticed in Vietnam, Buddhist temple tend to be in the mountain and like uh, stay kind of like upper high to look down too. So is it similar in Theravada as well?
Yeah. If you go to Sri Lanka, in many of the mountain tops, you will see a Buddhist temple, either a Buddha statue standing tall, or a beautiful temple. You will see it everywhere in most of the Buddhist countries. Yeah, on top, like it's a it's a really good viewpoint where they can see people's behavior below. Okay, so Buddha would also help many devas, celestial beings. That's also important in Buddhist culture. So it's not only this human world, human realm, but also those unseen, like those celestial beings can be seen through the naked eye, and all the sentient beings are included when it comes to Buddhist practice. So, as the topic suggests here, the Buddhist culture based on its fundamentals. Um, Now, can you can you find some fundamental teachings by referring to these pictures? What teachings did you find here? You can type or you can even speak. Yes. Yeah, we can see be respectful and compassion, alms, dana, reverence, um, and the infinite states. Um, Infinite states. What do you mean, Ayla?
Oh, the Brahma Viharas, the four.
Oh, okay. The four immeasurables, right? Okay. Yes. Right. So when you went through these pictures, as we were flipping through these pictures, you will also get to know like chanting, practicing meditation, generosity, compassion. They are all part of the practice. Okay. So now we have learned quite a lot of lessons so far, right? Today is 17. Now, what do you think? What does culture or Buddhist culture mean to you by now after learning so much in the past few classes? Let's hear from you. I think this is um, Gabriela, right? Richer than I imagine. Yes, richer than you ever imagine. It's so much richer and so much comprehensive. And Isla says a culture centered around um, avoiding greed, delusion, and ill will. Okay. Shannon says Buddhist culture, history, background can help me to understand the different teachings of schools much better. Yushi says vast. Okay. Yeah. So it's a really comprehensive topic that we were touching. It's not easy to actually learn this thing, but I think we've done a really pretty good job. Yeah, so much to learn. So much to learn and so little time. Right? Yeah. Mark says holistic compassion to all beings, inclusive to both monastic and lay practitioners. Tara says, I think that Buddhism has lasted so long due to the profound nature of compassion for sentient beings and end suffering. It helps to be mindful of all things and want to be the best version of yourself. Yeah, I think I like that. Like, you want to be the best version of yourself. Because everything, all the problems are within you. You created these problems. So you have to come out of these things. You are the one who fabricated these things. You are the one like a frog in the well. So you yourself have to come out. So that is why the Buddha said the enlightenment also is not outside, it is within. You need to go through, you need to go take a deep dive, look into yourself. That's how it works. So, the best version of yourself, you need to find your the best possible version. Yeah, I think this. This way we it's a process. It's not like one day or overnight version. It's a process of evolution. We need to continue to learn, continue to practice, and continue to apply the theory that we learn into real life situations. And we need to test ourselves, these the problems, the ups and downs in our life. We need to apply the dharma and the karma into practice. That way, I think we can make really we can find a very wonderful solution. Shannon says, I'm interested in the name of the temple in the pictures with the huge Bodhi tree. Oh, it is called um, Mahabodhi Society, Bangalore. Yeah, yeah, you can visit there. That's a really beautiful temple. I've been there, and I've attended many events there, given some speeches. It's a really long, little ancient temple. They do a really good job training young monks over 100, and they do have meditation centers. They do have quite a number of branches around all around India and also in some other countries. Okay, right. Jangchup says great help for inner peace. Yes. So yeah, so Buddhist culture is really important thing that we need to learn. Okay. So, cultivating Buddhist culture pathways to personal and societal transformation. So, over here, you can see under this topic that I am going to discuss here overview of Buddhist culture and its significance, the role of Buddhist teachings in personal and societal development. I have prepared a series of articles today that I want to share with you. Um, so maybe we will take a little the group discussion little earlier so that you have a little bit better time to discuss, to go through these articles. They cover uh, these these topic, this topic that we are discussing today. So, the role of Buddhist teachings, like the Four Noble Truths, the Noble Eightfold Path, dependent origination, and also like practically applying these teachings into our day-to-day life. I like that actually the most here. Like these are not very lofty or abstract teachings that can, it is like intangible, but it's really part of our life. We need to actively engage in the dharma. Practice in the dharma means you need to learn the dharma, listen to the dharma, discuss the dharma, Q&A, argue, and then you can also practice this dharma in our day-to-day life. That is the most important part of Buddhism. So we have ideas, we have ideals, right? And then we have mundane and supramundane. Mundane, like just average people. Supramundane are much better refined people, individuals who have attained um, that enlightenment or higher mental states. So the cultural grounding in the Dharma, again, is the key here. Let us see like the idea. What is idea? It's just an idea. Idea can be anything. It's like, turning on switching on the light. It's a new idea. And then when it comes to the ideal, you will see an overarching components, so many ingredients in the ideal. It has to be like a trustworthy thing, respectful and presentable and honest, motivated, reliable, flexible, patient, loyal, compassionate. Everything should be there when it comes to ideal. Otherwise, it can't be ideal. It should be, common to all, should be accepted by all. So the idea can be any idea, but it cannot be compared with the ideal. So, like here, you can see someone who is above the rest, cut above the rest, elevated himself or herself from the other people. Someone should be unique um, if you want to be ideal. So, a thought, a notion, or a concept that can be a suggestion or a plan. That can be an idea, but an ideal should be a standard of perfection, beauty, or excellence that can be a goal or a model for imitation. So you need to see the idea and the difference between the idea and the ideal. Why we need to learn that? When it comes to the culture, we will see a lot of ideas, and then we also try to see the ideal. in the culture. So in Buddhist culture, we can see also those beautiful ideals where we can all agree, we can all trust, we can all practice that common ground platform where we can all work together. So the culture reflects our essence, expressing itself through our lifestyles. So it's not only thoughts, it's also art, it's also religion, ethics, and knowledge. These are the combination of all these things. That should be the culture. So as Buddhist culture has such a long history, over 2,500 years, so you can see the culture of thoughts, of art, of religion, ethics, and knowledge. We do have so many things, over time that have been added to the beauty of this culture. So different countries, different languages, different costumes, different food, different practices, everything is part of the culture. So when you say like a cultured individual, that means somebody who has come to that ideal kind of situation where you have evolved yourself to a matured, to a grown individual. For example, the Arahanta person or the enlightened person is the perfect example who represent the pinnacle of this growth, who have come out of that average, mundane fellow human beings. They have come out of that ideal status where they don't have any discrimination, they don't have any demarcation, or they don't have any individualistic or self identity within them. They have shed all selfishness, no selfishness with them, and they embody complete purity and compassion. So that's the perfect example of um, cultured person, individual in Buddhism. And over here, you can see how culture reflects our essence. Everyone has different lifestyle, different thoughts on all these things. I think each and every one of you, you have a lifestyle, you have different thoughts, you have also like liking for art, um, or maybe disliking for art, but you have your own, you have your own version. I remember last time Gabriela said she is an artist, so the artist is not only like painting, but artist can also be a farmer, a farmer, or an engineer or a doctor or just a normal person who are more organized, who really have that passion to their profession, whatever they do. And let's say just a homemaker, a mom who doesn't have any job, but she's amazing. Why we call her homemaker? Because it's not a house anymore when you say a homemaker. Home is where you find safety and love and compassion, the oneness, commonness, my, that bond is there in the home. So that is why the mother is called homemaker. She, like, whenever people come out of their job or office, or the kids when they come out of the school, they all want to go to house, not a house, actually home. I want to go home. People say they want to go home, but who is that making the home? That is that simple, humble mother. She's the one who makes that home. So she has an art of her own compassion and unconditional, immeasurable loving kindness to her husband, to her children, to all the family members. That's why those houses are not just houses, but they are homes. So you see the art in so many different ways: religion, spirituality, ethics. Like you have your principles, you have work ethics, you have like the way you talk, the way you work, the way you walk, even the way you dress, you have your own ethics. That's very, very important part of the culture. These are the essential part of culture. Knowledge. You want to learn things. You are passionate about learning something new. So that way, you see, you can expand. If you are ready to learn, if you are flexible to listen, then you can actually grow better, evolve better. So when it comes to a cultured individual, these are also some integral part of uh, our journey. And then maybe some of the goals that we can, set up could be like ultimate goals. Um, Ultimate goal will be the last, but before that we should also have like short-term goals, right? Daily targets or daily goals or weekly, monthly, and annually. And apart from that, maybe your work, your studies, I also felt like family, like what you want to be in 5 years time, 10 years time. People set up their goals. I think as Buddhists, we also need to set up our goal to come to that cultured individual. Okay, where should I be in 5 years, next 5 years time as a Buddhist? We need to think. Okay, let's say like we have the teachings of the Buddha. How much should I learn? Maybe like Diga Nikaya, I want to finish. I want to finish reading. Out of the 20,000 suttas in the Pali Tripitaka, you have maybe like Mahayana, Vajrayana. It's okay. You just, you need to have that knowledge. You need to have that goal of um, exploring them, if you investigate them. If you don't do it, no one else will do it. You know, you should have the passion, enthusiasm, dedication to learn this, achieve this. So that the some of the goals should be there within us. Maybe in my lifetime, maybe in the next 10 years or so, I want to become a sotapanna. Imagine. You should have some goal. At least if you have that, you should be able to come closer to that. If you don't have any goal, just okay, live for the sake of living, and then it won't really work. In over here, by practicing and by learning this Buddhist culture and cultured individual, we need to come closer to that ideal individual, ideal cultured individual. We need to think of that as our final goal. So, cultured individual represents growth and development. For example, as we mentioned, Arahanta or the enlightenment is the final summum bomb or the pinnacle, the top of the ladder. So, how to shed our selfishness, how to embody purifying purity and compassion. We need to think of this. We need to look into ourselves, and then um, we need to achieve these goals little by little. And resistance to temptations. This is a very, very difficult thing. Every one of us in this age of advertisements. If you have like in the smartphone, you see the notifications all the time, so many notifications and so many apps. they are tempting you to, okay, go to Facebook, go to TikTok, go to, that, this and that. That way, YouTube, oh, beautiful, like, very interesting. You don't know, you are just immersed yourself, you are being carried away for hours and hours by, maybe your wonderful time. You don't even know how you have been swayed by these worldly temptations. So you need to really make some effort. Social media, I think we need to really work hard to resist um, our engagement with that. It's very hard. It's very challenging, but we should know how to do that. I would also like to actually hear from you how you set up your goal, like how to deal with the social media. I think it'll be an interesting experience. Um, may I ask you to share your views, how you work with the social media temptations?
I'll speak, Bante. Um, I don't do social media for many reasons. Working, in the healthcare profession, being EMS, people kind of rubberneck on things that they probably shouldn't. So, I'm all for the patient care. And when things are splashed over Facebook about accidents or my patients, I just don't want to know about it or see it, or a lot of people are so judgmental that they come to conclusions that didn't happen in these certain situations. Other times, and this has happened to me, there will be a death, whether it is a pediatric person, young child, or an adult, or even my son. This is what happened to me. um People on Facebook, okay, will tell everybody else and their dog these situations. This is another example before the family even knows the situation. Okay, many families, myself included, I, had just found out, and then they don't even know about the death. And I find it extremely disdainful, and I, then again, with all the things that have been posted over the last six years pertaining to my job being EMS and ambulance. My husband is a police officer. I don't know if you are aware, of all the things that were happening against us professionally. Um, we were really being thrown out there amongst the social media as enemies to the public, and we had to start going through tactical training just to protect ourselves. Now, we make we don't make much money at all. That's well known. And when you tackle that on top of being pressured by society in a very hateful light, um really is dismantling, um to you as a person, to what you believe in, and what you want to do for the people that's next to you. And then COVID starts, and then it's a whole nother ball game. So I just don't think social media really has many good benefits to it at all, personally. And then the Facebook, for example, aside from a medical aspect, people people are just so crass and mean, and there's no reason for it. I think the adage of mind your own business needs to be more of a cultural thing to come back in, because that generation is gone. A lot of things have changed, and granted, I'm almost 50, and maybe it's my generation is a bit more, we're not as public, let's just say. Um, we mind our business, we're more private, we don't really throw things out there. But our culture has just really digressed into such hatefulness, and they don't even need to say anything about these people. It's just people can't even talk their own mind and without being torn down, and it's just become such a hateful society. So I don't have anything to do with it at all, personally. That's just my take on it, though.
Thank you, Tara. So let me also throw another question, like maybe for one person, one more person. Like we have technology and then we have these things. Can we completely get rid of them, or like as you said, it would be really wonderful if you can, get rid of that social media completely. That'll be really wonderful. But then that has also become kind of an indispensable part of people's lifestyle, I would say, culture. So, um, so how do you deal with it? How do you balance this thing? Maybe one more person.
Bonte, can you hear?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, it wasn't working before. You can filter out the good from the bad. I think when I started Facebook, it was to connect with family on the other side of the world. And it's so wonderful to have that connection where you can see them and talk to them and get updates, because before, I would take a letter and put a stamp on it and have to walk down to the post office and stand in line, and then they would wait 2 weeks and then I'd have to get a response. So it was very time consuming, and this way it's just instantaneous. And on my Facebook page, and anyone is welcome to join me on my page, I have so many wonderful monastic friends and Dharma friends and beautiful people on there. So I see so many good connections. So a lot of good comes out of social media in that respect, and the information knowledge railroad is just wonderful. The amount of information you can get right away from people that are actually living the Dharma. They can give you firsthand accounts. But then there's also there's the bad side too. And there's something called the delete button that I use frequently. And right now there's a very hot topic on a gentleman that died. I think his name is Kirk. And it's such a hot topic that anyone who's posting anything, I delete that automatically. I respect everyone's opinions, the right to grieve in any way that they see, but it tends to promote reactions that is like a powder keg from other people. So not so much for the person himself, but for the cause and effect that it makes on social media. There's certain aspects that I will choose to not engage with or have other people try to engage with on my page, because it starts people from a very base and basic viewpoint that they put out, and before you know it, there's a small war going that you have to put out the fires quickly. So that's my take on social media. I think you can control it to the good, and try to limit the amount of interference and backpedaling or decompensating that it might cause within you.
Thank you. Thank you to both of you. And thank you to everyone who also shared your views on the chat. I could see. Um, okay. Mark, would you like to read these chats, please, for me?
Yes. So talking about social media, let's see. Gabriella said, I deleted my Facebook and Instagram since we started this class. I said, I don't have the social media apps on my phone, but recently I've been tempted to waste time by watching random YouTube videos. I want to work on resisting that. I'm on your team, Eiler. Uh, Yossi said, I try to use it only as a tool to keep myself updated, to keep up with remote friends, or to find information. Technology itself is not good or bad. It's just a tool. We can use it in a conscientious way, but people may also abuse it. Xiaonan said, uh, taking the current course is a way to take me away from my phone since my time was occupied by Buddhism course. Cameron just said, our society has invested billions of dollars into figure out how to make social media as addictive and degenerative as possible. In quote unquote using this tool, you cannot avoid supporting this evil intention that may benefit you but harm 1,000 others. Jung Chup said, I think if we can control our emotions, social media won't interfere in with our daily life, and sometimes it can be helpful. UC said, I work in the tech world, and that's my view. I think we need discipline to use social media in a useful way to help with our work, life, study, and Buddhism practice.
Thank you so much. So it's like a double-bladed sword. Same thing with the Dharma, right? We can use it or misuse it. You can use it or abuse it. Yeah. So a lot of people, they actually try to express everything like their personal life, wherever, whatever they do, they want to share it. Anger, hatred, everything. So maybe like some of the things like notifications, you can maybe off all the notifications. So, and also maybe some of the apps you don't need to download to your phone. If you want to go to Facebook, you go to Facebook through the computer. So you can restrict yourself that way. Yeah, I think sometime it could also connect you with some of these old friends. I personally remember some of my old friends and even my teachers. I was connected to them after a long gap of time through Facebook. So they found me, I found them. So I was surprised, like some of those people who have been still connected to me through. So there are good things, bad things, but I also don't have Facebook in my phone, so so I have to go to the computer to see that. And also, I have turned all the notifications off in my phone, so they can control me. I I go there whenever I want, and I keep my phone in silent mode all the time, so they can control me. You know, have a little bit of control. Yeah, having said that, sometime like a lot of people's me time is just going to social media, and I think that's a really important thing. How to work with that, and how to these social media people, they have used, as I think somebody said, Cameron said, they have invested billions of dollars into this, and so they know exactly how to make you tempted. They have used the best technology, the best psychology, best tools, AI, everything. If you click on one thing, one post, one particular post, so they know you are interested in that subject, and then you will get thousands of them. They will already they have everything, so it's very hard, almost impossible to fight with them, with that temptation. But then maybe you need to have your own ways to you know practice. Okay. um okay, by the way, who is ready to do the exercise today? Maybe like just like I think little under 5 minutes would be good. Otherwise, anyone is ready today? Okay. Right. So think of it if you can. I remember Gabriela said, I am always ready. Any of you, if you are interested in, practicing. Oh, Shannon said, I think, last time, right? Shannon? No?
I don't know how to lead. I want to follow Gabriela
You
because
want to
I
follow?
forgot what not to completely remember what she did, and I want to remember.
Okay. Okay. Even maybe like, just some activity to make people engage. It's almost time for that. If anyone is ready, maybe we can do that activity first and then go back to the lesson. 5 minutes. I know every one of you are very capable of doing this. Already, Kyra, Gabriela, and Isla. Jojo, are you there? I heard, yeah, maybe any of you. Venerable Jangchup, Venerable Vijita, you are also welcome to share anything. Maria, uh, okay, how you boost yourself when you are like little down. Mark also did last time. I'm sorry.
And I also I have some kind of meditation too I could share if nobody has anything.
Meditation, like some activity.
Yes, it's I think
Okay.
gazing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Mark, just 5 minutes, okay?
All right. Okay. Yes. Let me share my screen. Uh,
You can share, right? I guess.
yes. Let me try to. What is it name again? Let me see. Let me just try to find the object here. Trataka. Oh yeah. Just 1 second, please. Okay, I think I got it here. All right, let me share screen. Here we go. Okay, can you see my full screen now?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so everyone, if you could just find some place to be stable. If you are sitting, keep sitting, that's okay. Or if you want to change position to standing or any other, make sure you can do it now, but just make sure you are stable. And I think this is called Tatraka meditation. And this picture is yantra. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna focus our vision. Yeah, and oh, you should have your screen on full screen now. So like make the picture as big as possible on the screen. And yeah, we gonna the idea is that you're gonna focus on the red dot right in the middle, and then keep your eye gazing on that point. And then you just notice your peripheral vision to go outside, not moving your eye at all. Your eye still be stick on that red point, red dot, and then try not to close your eyes. Yeah, that is the tricky part. Try not to close your eyes. If you have to, if you start to feel your eyes want to close, you can like just close, like maybe like just like close it uh a little bit and then still open a little. Still keep your eyes open, not close all the way, but probably halfway or 75, but still keep your eye open. Okay, and after maybe 30 seconds, your eye may start to secrete secrete the water, like it's kind of like crying, but not, it's not crying, it's like very normal physiological reaction, and that's good for your eye. So but try your best not to close your eye. Okay, um however, if it's too challenging, you can close just one and then open again. And yeah, but the tip here is that you don't have to open full 100% all the time. You can close half, close your eye half. Okay, but really try to focus. If it helps, you could just focus on the breathing while your eye is doing that. All right. So I think this is very challenging for beginner who never tried this before. But I think this might be fun. You might find it's like very interesting. So yeah, let's get started. So yeah, we just pay attention to the red dot, and then start to acknowledge the surrounding, the yellow, and then go further. If you start to feel your eyes want to close, just slowly close it halfway. You may find the pictures, the triangle start to dance. That's completely normal, and just observe it. You only close your eye when you really have to. Try your best not to close your eyes. Full attention on the red dot. And you can go further away to the green, the black, red triangle, and go to the peripheral region. But your eye is still locked in the red dot. If you see stuff start to moving, just observe it. And now we're gonna close eyes and keep closing your eyes. And observe the picture appearing in front of you, whatever it is. And just observe it. Observe the shape and light. Even though you're closing your eye, you see that residue from the past picture. All right, that's it. Isn't it interesting? Thank you for the hand claps. Oh, Bante. Oh, yeah. We are done, Bante.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think I got some tears too. Yeah, I appreciate Mark for that impromptu activity. I think you can also share that photo, that image in the group so people can practice later. Thank you. Please give him a big hand of applause. All
Thank you
right.
very much.
And also tomorrow, uh, anyone wants to do it? Okay,
Good tomorrow.
Gabriela. Okay, what about day after?
I'll take day after, Bunty.
Okay, great. So now we have already set up. Final day will be our exam, so I don't think we'll have any time for exercise. You will be completely absorbed with the exam. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so with that, we'll get back to our lesson. Can you see the screen, please?
Yes.
Okay. So the path to greatness in Buddhism, we need to see how true greatness in Buddhism, arises from ethical discipline and mental cultivation. It is said sila, samadhi, and panya. So ethical, like verbal discipline and bodily discipline, really important for this ethical aspect of sila, virtues, morality, ethics. And then the mental cultivation becomes easier when you are bodily and verbally restrained yourself. Like Mark said, we just had to look into that dark dot, the little red dot. And then when you keep doing it, you keep unmoved, unshaken, then you see things happen in a different realm. So it's much easier to do that when you are unmoved, simple as that. Similarly, in meditation, like mental cultivation, that bodily and verbally, that discipline part is really important. And then only the mind becomes, starts to see things in a different level. The things we can see clearly, and we can take good decisions in life. And also meditation, if you focus on your meditation, if you continue to cultivate, then you open your wisdom faculty. So inherent perfection of human nature can be a possibility only if you think of your ethical and mental cultivation. So the culture foundation in Buddhism starts with 5 precepts: not to kill, not to steal, not to engage in sexual misconduct, not to tell lies, and not to take intoxicating drinks and drugs. So these are really the very foundation of our cultural um, upbringing. Then the benefits, we see how when we keep practicing these 5 precepts, we can see how the greed and hatred slowly, disappear. And we also see like kindness and honesty gradually develops within you. You should be able to see that. And if you start um, measure, weigh, ups and downs in your 5 precepts. May not all 5 precepts are equally balanced by many of us. So we need to really focus on what is better and what is not so better. So you need to focus on that, and then we need to cultivate certain precepts. Maybe for some people, the last precept. Maybe for some people, the first precept. Whatever, there are different cultures, different community, different professions. It's hard. We've seen, for example, the fishermen, people in the coastal area, they find it very hard to get rid of that first precept because they are dealing with, they are engaged in fishing. And but then we should also allow them to take time, and then when they keep practicing, they would at least they would do it like not massive scale, or not using like electricity, or killing in massive scale. That will be the first step. So slowly and gradually they will reduce it, and eventually you should be able to come out of that completely and find maybe different version. And also maybe they can also deal with the coral reef protection. Maybe they can also do some research or do some job, professionally, and they can work on preservation of aquatic these um, fishes and all those other plants. And let's say, like, if someone is addicted to smoke, it will be hard for them to get rid of it completely overnight. So let's say, like, if that is a chain smoker, slowly, gradually, bit by bit, they have to, come out of this and restrain them. And that way they can find more benefits. And that personal benefit, personal development is a gradual process. It's not like overnight thing. So the role of active engagement in Buddhist growth, the essence of growth in Buddhism, over here we can see the actively engaging and diligently working with wholesome actions. This is really important. That means you need to recognize your own weakness, your own strength, and you need to work on them. Let's say, like, you are social media addict, then how to get rid of it, and you can do it overnight again. How to maybe like um, um, do something, like you need to talk to yourself. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to take the phone immediately after waking up. I'm not going to touch it. Something like that. I'm not going to touch my phone 1 hour before my sleep. Something like that. You need to talk to yourself, and that way you should be able to. Or sometime okay, I want to go out. Want to talk to the plants. I want to talk to the animals, outside, or the flowers, vegetables. Look at the sky, look at the stars in the night, or something. You do something else. You need to maybe replace that unwholesome activity with some wholesome activity. So to distract yourself from that engagement, we need to make some effort. And reading every day, like maybe I want to read one Buddhist sutta, every day. Or I want to read at least once a week. I want to read Buddhist sutta. I want to read one Buddhist book every month. You can make some um, different tactics. And rejection of laziness. So sloth and torpor, we call thina middha, very difficult again. Every time, like, you want to read book and you feel sleepy, you feel tired, the sleep comes to you just like you have never slept. So, but you continue to do that. Even if you feel sleepy, it's okay. You continue to do that, and the mental registration will happen eventually, and you will know how to keep reading, because the books are really the reflection of people's wisdom. A lot of people have done so much research, so much hard work to produce one book, and that is the final version of their wisdom. And we have an opportunity, a golden opportunity, to read their wisdom within maybe a few hours, maybe few days, and while traveling, maybe like if you travel from like airplane, it's like few hours time already, and then you don't have Wi-Fi. I know some airplanes, they still have Wi-Fi. They don't want you to be away from technology. They still give Wi-Fi to you. So make sure you don't want that. Even if they give you free, you don't you don't do that. Instead, you take a book and read it in the airplane, or even meditate in the airplane. Plane can be a good idea. Maybe a combination of both can be a good idea, something like that. And how to deal with the laziness, really important. We learned in Sigalova the Sutta also how the laziness can lead you to your downfall. And impact of personal development. We need to see how we gradually improve ourselves. I want actually you to think of it seriously at the beginning of this course and so far. The kind of development you had within you will be really important to share that with us later on as a feedback and also as an encouragement for the others. And I hope that will also be important. So over the course of time, we need to make sure that we grow, we change, and we grow for the better. We become more positive, wholesome. We become more open, and we become more wider in our perspective, and we are ready to learn. We are humble, and we are open. That way, we can grow better, right? And the path to true advancement, true societal advancement, begins with personal transformation. We can change the society just like that. We have to start by ourselves. And one person, one Buddha, has changed millions of people over the last 2,500 years. We see that how important it is for one person to change. You can do that too. um, we see some of the people in the society. We see like all the wrong things are more motivated, or wrong things are more promoted even in the social media. Maybe we need to promote more wholesome activities, wholesome things with the society. Then it becomes like it can also make a huge impact on others' life. Even like sharing a one beautiful picture, in your group can motivate them. Or just say, not I personally feel it is better you write something rather than sharing someone's post. It's okay for yourself, but if you type something, if you even handwrite and take a picture and share it in a group, I think that can make more beautiful. I see a lot of people even not knowing what is there, they just forward, continue to forward. So maybe we need to think like how we can change ourselves, personal transformation. We need to learn some of our mistakes. Always remember the story of Angulimala, the story of Kisa Gotami, story of Patachara, story of Sopaka, story of Rahula. How they have grown, how they have changed, transformed themselves into wonderful, wonderful cultured individuals. So we need to think of it We need to focus, learn, and evolve. Okay. I think with that, we'll take a 15 minutes break. And after that, we'll 15 minutes, I think maybe 10 minutes. Okay. Is that okay? 10 minutes? Okay. We'll take a 10 minutes break, please. Hi.
I'm sorry I had to leave. My husband's having some health issues. So I am kind of keeping an eye on him and hopefully we don't have to go to the ER in a little while. But I might have to pop in and out tonight.
Okay. Okay. I wish him the best.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I
please.
fixed him temporarily. I think it was his blood sugar was a little bit low. So I gave him something to eat just now and I think he's gonna do okay, so I can get through this.
Yeah, sorry to hear that. Yeah, please take care of him
Thank
first,
you.
and we'll see you tomorrow then. Hopefully,
Okay.
it should be fine. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Maybe the whole class, please pray for Jojo's
Norm.
man. Okay. May he be well, happy, healthy.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have shared here some articles. Please select one of them. We have 9 articles here. So select one of them and then we'll give you some 15 minutes to read. Okay? I think that will be our next task. That is the group discussion. Okay, so starting now, please read these any of these articles and give a reflection on that. Hello, everyone. I hope you had some time to finish reading. Okay. Let's invite everyone to say a few words or give a reflection on the paper that you read. Maybe some of you have read the same thing, but it's okay. People look at it differently. So it's perfectly all right, even if the same article has been read by many. Okay. To begin with, please type the number of the article that you read. That will be easier for all of us to know, okay, which article that you found more interesting. Okay, 1, 1, 2, 5, 7, 2, 1 and 2. Wow, that's good. Looks like the number 2 has become more popular. Number 3 and 7. Okay, so anyone wants to start? Yeah, maybe like just 3 to 5 minutes, okay? Not more than that.
I can
All
start
right.
with number 1, Bunty.
Okay.
Okay, the foundation of Buddhism based on its fundamentals. I'm going to do just kind of a skeletal overview of what I read and then get into a couple of points that I found interesting. It discussed about the human potential, the ethics, community organization, the approach to suffering, and environmental studies, and protection of human rights. And it goes into the 3 jewels. The first jewel being the Buddha. He revealed that we all have the human potential and we can all attain enlightenment. The second Dharma is the jewel of the ethical framework on which the teachings are founded. The third is the Sangha and the monastic and community of practitioners. And it goes into the 4 Noble Truths. And this is where I found it kind of interesting because it clarified something for me that had been kind of murky for a number of years. The first Noble Truth is the truth of suffering. And that is that we all suffer. It's not something from the Vedic times where karmic disposition is going to monitor and control your life. It's something that's more individual. The second Noble Truth is the arising of suffering, and it pretty much focuses on the area on dependent origination, which is the craving, the tanha, and the upadana after that also, which is the clinging. And the third is where I found it most interesting. They said it's the cessation of suffering. And they found that in this article, they stated that suffering is not permanent. So I always thought that if you just look at the 4 Noble Truths, it says suffering is present, suffering arises, suffering ceases, and the exit is the noble path, the middle way. But this one actually states that the cessation is not suffering. So it is something that you're able to work on in this lifetime. And once you're, again, as we've said in the class tonight, improving yourself and getting a solid foundation within yourself, then you begin to look outward and you start looking more towards helping the other people, the environment, the community, and the world in general. And that's pretty much my takeaway on that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jojo. And let me also actually ask everyone to first applaud her effort. And also, as we are doing this special class, this is different class different from other classes. So I want everyone to focus. Even though I know you all want to, prepare for your own presentation, but that is okay. Now, when somebody talks, let us focus. Let us listen to that person so that we can learn something different. If not, you continue to, read your article and then it won't really help. So let's make that sealer, that virtue, that discipline within us. When somebody speaks, we will respect that person. We will respectfully listen to that person. I think this is another thing that I wanted to share with you today. Okay, who's going to be next?
I can go next, Bante.
Okay.
I read the second article, which is Mindfulness and Cultural Identity, the Transformative Influence of Sati in Buddhist Culture and Modern Global Applications. And so this talks about Sati, which means mindfulness, seeing how what cultural impacts this has had after the Buddha taught about this. And one part that stood out to me, it actually kind of connects to what Bhante Sumita was just saying. One idea that stood out to me was the idea of mindful learning. So in Theravada countries, the idea of incorporating mindfulness as you're paying attention in the monastic schools is something that's very common. And then they have a similar idea in schools for Tibetan monastics, which is called Shamatha Vipassana, where again, the idea of mindfulness is being applied while you're learning. And this was pretty interesting to me because I guess I sometimes think of mindfulness as always having inward focus. But it seems like to be learning mindfully, you would have a small amount of inward focus. You would still be aware of just your body and what it's doing, but you would also have very strong external focus on your teacher. So I think this is a really interesting idea.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ayla. Please give her a big hand of applause. And you can also text something like, if you learn something, you want to also read that article later if you haven't read it before. All right. So that was number 2, right? Number 1 and number 2. Yeah. Anyone else? People who have read the same article, it's okay. You can also read, or you can read the other people. Anyone?
Me.
Okay.
From the article, the part that I know well is the application of mindfulness in healthcare. And this is technique, mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, the MBSR. And basically is to teach the person to be aware of their bodies, of their thoughts, the feelings. And it's explaining the way you think, you feel, and you behave. So it's very important if you want to change a behavior to know your thoughts And there's, but you have to be aware of your thoughts and what are those beliefs that lead your behavior. And it's very interesting for me that this concept comes to the Satipatthana Sutta. So it's from the 6th century BCE in India, which is a very knowledge, and we are using it in 2025 and well, many years ago as well. But it's for me that it excites me more that it's an old knowledge, and for many of therapists they don't know. So it's interesting.
Thank you. Thank you. Please give her a big hand of applause. Yeah, MBSR, mindfulness-based stress reduction theory, was based on Buddhist meditation, but they don't want to mention that it is Buddhism. Today we talk about plagiarism. We talk about the copyrights, but when it comes to that, they don't want to give credit to the Buddha or the founder of that beautiful meditation technique. Yeah, Satipatthana Sutta and many other suttas, they talk about these things, and sometimes we can see, but having said that, people still will come to know the power of meditation, power of mindfulness. um, this should be helpful to overcome many of our anxieties, many of our depressions, many of our stress levels. So I think maybe one part of the missing here in MBSR theory is maybe the sila, the virtue, the ethical part, right? They don't want to talk about that. They just want to do the technique. But if you really want to get the most powerful benefit, you need to also practice the sila. That is the very foundation. Yeah, thank you, Gabriela, for pointing it out. And as you are a person who is dealing with this counseling, and you now know the difference, you can probably make it better, make use of it to better address the situation, help your clients better. Yeah, thank you so much. Shannon, you have a question or you want to be next?
I want to be the next.
Okay.
I read the article 7 about the dependent origination. I don't think I can summarize it, but there are a couple points make me feel really interesting or like refreshed. I think we talk about the no self many times. I heard it about probably 100 or 1,000 times, but today when I read it, I feel I start to understand a little more because they mentioned there is that the Buddha developed this concept no self because there are some cultural historical reason, because there's another tradition Spanish the concept of Atman. So it's not like when I heard about non-self, I usually directly think there's no self, no me. But that's the concept was confusing. Take the class, if no me, where just this really confused. But when I read this article for that sentence, I came to get it. Oh, no self is a concept, the object to a concept that there is a permanent and a solid self, things like that. So I start to understand the Dharma in a different way and start to like I think even the sentence, I heard it many, many times. But now this time I get it a little bit more. So don't feel so confused. It's like the philosophy, no self, and my daily activity, they no bound. But now I feel, I probably see it in a different way. Now I understand better. So I feel so impressed about that. So that's what I want to share.
Thank you so much. I think this is one of the things I also want to, share with you. Like there are 5 benefits of listening to Dhamma, reading the Dhamma. One, Asutang Sunati, you hear something that you have never heard before. That could be, when you read these articles, oh, I learned something new, something like that. And then Sutang Pariyodapeti, you have already learned this thing, but you want to further consolidate. That is the second thing. And then Kankang Vitarati, that means you have a lot of doubts. This is whether it is true, whether I was in the past or in the future, or, so many karma, so many doubts are there. Many doubts are cleared when you listen to Dhamma and when you read this Dhamma. That is the other benefit. And then Chittamas Pasidati, you feel happy. You feel really happy when you read this beautiful Dhamma. And then Ditthing Ujung Karoti, the most important thing, you straighten, you expand your right view. That is the most important, the navigation that you have in a better frame so that you can, journey through this Dharma journey with a better frame of mind, with a better vision. So these are the 5 benefits of reading Dhamma and listening to Dhamma. Okay, thank you so much. You don't have to read the entire article also. Like this, you like this point, you want to talk about that point, that's okay. This is what we want. And then it will encourage other people, oh, I want to read that article too, so that other people can also go through that. And you can further, when you are free, you can go through these articles. I think now already I have around 300 articles, I think. You can, in your free time, slowly go through them. All right. Next one, please.
I can keep going with the Article 7. So,
Yeah.
yes, the title is related to the concept of interdependence. And for me, when I read about this concept, I really like to relate it to astrology, like the universe and stuff, like the beginning of the universe and the timeline and stuff like that. So one thing I caught when reading this article is about concept of time. So, in the Western world, most people think time as a linear concept, right? And then as many people say in Native American society or in Asia, time is more like a cycle concept, and like it goes and go back in season, 4 seasons in a year. But here, Buddhism would lean more into the concept of cycle. However, I think it's not time doesn't repeat. It's still a continuous cycle. Every moment is still a new moment, and like everything has causation from the past. So it's kind of a combination from both linear and cycle, cyclical, and that is time, right? But this very related to space as well. So when we learn about uh, say like the solar system, we might imagine nowadays we might imagine like the sun is in the middle and Earth cycle around, right? However, in reality, this is proven. It's not a really this is it's more like a 2D. That that model is a 2D version. The 3D version is more like this. So let me try to show this here. Let me turn this up. So I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the 3D version is that the sun, it move as well. So it'll keep moving up. So the Earth is still circle around the sun, right? But it go in like this is called helix. So it's like the snail cover, the snail shell. It helix. So yeah, this is a visual representation of what we talk about at the time, but this is completely about space, right? So the sun always it's never being static, it's not stable, it's still moving. And Earth, doesn't just surround the sun, but it keep going up, going up. So yeah, that's a kind of like my understanding of of this concept of time and space and dependent orientation.
Thank you so much, Mark. As a young man, young medical student, I think you already have a really good grasp. Maybe the science you can think of maybe comparing quantum physics and Buddhism, and maybe some of the things how we can better understand Buddhism through the lens of science. Today, people in the West, they really want to focus on science. Everything should be scientific. Maybe you could also see something in a different level. People from we know like a lot of scientists and engineers and doctors who are very interested in Buddhism in traditional Buddhist countries. So now, when we have people like you here in the West, I think we would also like to see you learning the Dhamma, you trying to see the difference, science and Buddhism, and then also how we can see that those realities, the truth and the power of Buddhism. Maybe you could be a great resource. Wish you the best. Thank you so much for thinking of Paticca Samuppada, and for the world today. I think you guys can hopefully make it more meaningful if you explain it in such senses. Okay. Thank you again. Next person, please. Who wants to go next?
Hi, I can. I read Article 5. I think that I'm the only one who did.
Okay.
On compassion and nonviolence as the cultural pillars. And I mean, looking at both of those principles historically has been kind of a fascination of mine. It was a very transformative thing looking back at the culture that Buddhism stemmed from, with the sacrifices and the disparity between social classes and systems. To have such a transformative movement, ethically, politically, philosophically, and otherwise, come into play where nonviolence and compassion were really the focal points and the pillars of kind of a group or a society that kind of formed as a subset. It's fascinating to look at, and I thought that the article did a really good job of explaining how that happened, but where I found my focus going was actually the contemporary relevance. I think that we do have some really good examples of this today in prominent Buddhist leaders, being like the Dalai Lama, Thich Nhat Hanh, and other monastics. But especially now with all of the disparities in different thinking, different ideologies, and just society in general, it is nice to be reminded and kind of come back to the foundations of like ahimsa and well, compassion and nonviolence, and just kind of refocus a little bit. I know that everything's been very, very up in the air and stressful, especially here in the West lately. So I think that the article does a good job of kind of rooting it back and saying that these things are still very much so pillars of the Buddhist community, but there's still a lot of work and a lot of effort that has to be put in even today. And it's still kind of a goal, in a way, to get society to that point, because there's still a lot that we do have to work towards. So it was a good article, and I feel like it's very, very relevant.
Thank you. Thank you, Kyra. Please give her a big hand of applause. Yeah. So I think today's world, as she mentioned, so full of turmoil. Like for example, in social media, we were talking about that. How even like reacting to social media can lose your job. So how important it is to be not judgmental, not discriminating anyone, how to test our dhamma, how to apply our dhamma into, social media context also, very important. And yeah, so um, like even when we react to certain things, we have to be mindful, not to discriminate or not to be judgmental, and also we need to think of our own compassion for everyone, so that we won't harm anyone, we won't hurt anyone. Yeah, I think that also I really wanted to um, share with you today. And thank you again, Kyra, for reading that article. I hope the others also will find it useful. Okay, who's next?
I can.
Okay.
I read the first article. This already the Jojo shared his shared her thoughts about that. I also would like to thoughts about this article, the uh, fundamentals of uh, Buddhist culture based on its the foundation of Buddhist culture based on its fundamentals. This article explain how the fundamentals of Buddhism, three jewels, it is three refuges, four noble truths, and the a noble eightfold path. And this one says about created a new culture foundation in say ancient India. And also this article says Buddhism was not just religious, it was cultural revolution, and that changed how people thought about life, society, and ethics. The first three jewels as pillars. The, the Buddha showed that if anyone, no matter their caste, they can reach enlightenment. This gave people sense of equal human potential. And also the Dharma taught universal ethics, not rules based on birth, and encourage personal responsibilities. And also the uh, Sangha become a new model of community life. They talk about community life, and with equality, shared decision making, and spiritual growth. And also this article says about the Four Noble Truths. It gave the cultural foundation by Buddhist teaching that suffering is universal, that craving and also craving causes suffering, and it says that suffering can end, and the path is the noble eightfold path is the way to liberation. This eightfold path guided daily these articles mention that guided daily life with right understanding, intention, speech, action, livelihood, effort, the mindfulness and concentration. These values encourage truthfulness, compassion, ethical works, and also meditation. Um, and also this article says more Buddhist culture also promoted human dignity, social justice, and uh, care for the environment, and also supported equality, challenged rigid caste system, and even open space for women to practice the Dhamma. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Venerable Vijita,
Thank you.
for summarizing this article. Yeah, this is the main article, and the other articles are actually segregated into different parts of the main article. So some of the articles that you can see, like mindfulness and cultural identity, then transmission of fundamentals into culture practice, and then Buddhist culture and Vedic tradition, compassion and nonviolence, and role of the Sangha, dependent origination, the Four Noble Truths, then the Eightfold Path. These are all the same, but the first article is just like the summary of all of them. And yeah, I hope you will like these articles later when you are free, feel like coming back to those. You can always go ahead and take a look. And also, please feel free to, comment, write your feedback, and that will also be very helpful. Yeah. Anyone else wants to say anything? Or
Bhante, I have a question.
yes.
I noticed your name on a lot of the articles. I'm just wondering when your book is going to be coming out so we can have everything all put together and we can enjoy your teachings in one place.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's see. I'm actually also thinking of publishing the PhD dissertation because the PhD is very high academic language. We don't want to publish that in that same language. We want to kind of make it like simplify that. So probably if any of you are willing to help, maybe we can put them together. We can further improve even these all the articles that we were discussing here. We probably can publish it, but we need to we need some volunteers to help maybe go through certain technical things, and also we need to verify those references, um, edit if there are any mistakes, and yeah, we could do it. Yeah, thank you for pointing out, Jojo. Okay. All right. So, anyone else to?
Yes, but I do have a question about this dependent origination.
Hmm.
So in the article, there's a mention there are there's a formulation of these interconnected links, uh, and this formation have 12 concepts for interdependent. And I've noticed like in these 12, there are four of them also present in the five aggregates, except for perception. So all other four, except for perception, are also listed here in the 12 interconnected links of dependent origination. Uh, could you explain like why or what's the difference of these two concepts?
Um, So what are those two concepts that you mentioned? Let me
Uh,
uh,
dependent origination versus five aggregates.
okay.
Because here in the right, the doc here in the first part in the article, it say the doctrine of dependent origination. We have
Hmm.
the 12 interconnected links, which
Yeah.
are ignorance, volitional formations, consciousness,
Yeah. Hmm.
six sense basis,
Yeah.
contact, feeling,
Hmm.
craving, clinging, becoming, birth, aging, and death. So yeah, we got like 4 out of 5.
12
Uh,
links, right?
I'm sorry.
These are 12 links. We call 12 links.
12 links.
Hmm.
So I mean, does it mean like I'm just wondering like the perception is not in there. So I don't know if like perception
Oh,
is.
perception should be there too, actually. That is the sankhara, sanya, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is sanya.
Would that be under the Salayatana? The 12 links?
No. Um,
Six sense basis.
Avidya pacha sankhara, sankhara pacha vijnana, vijnana pacha namarupa, namarupa pacha salayatana, salayatana pacha passo, passa pacha vedana, vedana pacha sankhara. So could be under, yeah, the salayatana, the sixth sense, can also be part of that. Let me see.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So perception is what you call actually sanya. So when you perceive, when you kind of recognize, um, that is called sanya. So vijnana is the identifying. Let's say like you see something, and let's say like I see your picture now. So people who came to Maba last time, they haven't seen me in seen me in person. So so some of the people when I encountered also, I could not recognize some. And they said, "Oh, I'm this person by the name," and then only, "Oh, I see," you know. So it's like seeing and then perceiving and then recognizing. They are different processes. Through the six faculties, we could actually experience different sensations, right? And then it is the matter of recognizing, identifying it, and then like it is said, with the eye you see something, and with the eye consciousness, vijnana, we recognize. Let's say like Gabriela, Verimba Jangchuk, Jojo, Kyra, Mark, Tara, um, over here, Shannon, Juicy, we all see them, and then we recognize him. Same thing with the sound. You just hear some of, let's say like you get a phone call from your mother from a different phone number, let's say, but you recognize immediately, right? How do you recognize immediately because of your previous experience? Oh, I know this is my mother. And sometimes the dogs, they are very close to you. If you have pets, they are very close to you. How do they recognize you? I notice like the dogs here outside, that we really care for them. And sometimes I notice like when I walk around inside the house also, they are very they are very mindful. They are very alert. Whenever I go out, they come recognizing. So I think this is all part of the sanya also. Sanya and Vijnana. I think in Paticca Samuppada, all the links are very important, yes. But I think Nama Rupa will be a really important thing. That Nama Rupa means name and form. Those two things we really need to pay a little more attention to. You know, what is Nama and what is Rupa. If you know this, if you try to um, kind of unravel this thing, hopefully you will know the entirety of Buddhism, Paticca Samuppada. I would like to encourage you to read more about Paticca Samuppada is very well read and understood in all across different Buddhist schools. Theravada Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, even Tibetan Buddhism, they all really very highly respect and esteem this wonderful teaching, which is very unique to Buddhism. You don't have this teaching like that in any other perspective. So we need to probably go through more, little bit more about Paticca. Yeah. So through this Buddhist culture class, I would say we have tried to, touch upon every aspect. This is so huge, like the entire ocean, but we could not make it into very serious studies of each and every concept. But I just gave you a kind of taste of all these things. Paticca is one thing that I encourage all of you to read a little bit more, explore a little bit more, investigate more about this. You will feel so amazed the more you read about this Paticca. If you want to have a little bit more discussion, please add some comments to that. Hopefully, we can develop, back and forth discussions about that. Paticca. Although the article is limited, if you make some comments, hopefully we can build a better um, mm, communication through that. Okay. All right. Thank you so much again, everyone, for your presentations, your inputs. And so maybe with that, I would like to pay your attention to this topic first. And I have also shared a model answer. Did you see that? Yeah, so please take a look. I will try to answer some of the questions in the last year paper, final paper. So on the basis of that, you could probably be ready for that. And I really encourage all the students here, um, despite you have been regular or DBS or non-DBS, it's okay. You try to be in that writing paper class. Okay, I highly recommend you all do that. It's okay. We don't have any grading even. That's okay. But I also want to mention that I have already marked. Graded the two assignments. I need a little bit more time to. I've done that, but I need to finalize it. Hopefully, in the next few days, maybe I'll be able to um, mm, share the results with you. Okay, and over here with the final exam preparation or just this in-class writing exercise, final recap. like the lecture today, I think it was also like a recap of our lecture. So we want you to go through these tips and tricks. Can somebody please read them for me? Can you read the screen?
I can.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, the final recap in-class writing exercise, mock exam replacement, tips and tricks. For students preparing for the BUPS 13014 History of Buddhist Culture exam, it's crucial to approach this paper with a clear understanding of the topics covered and the structure expected in your answers. Below are some tips to help you prepare effectively and maximize your chances of success.
Oh, just a second. I think there was a mistake here. It should be BUCU, right?
I think so.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Yes, please.
All right. 1, understand key themes. Make sure you have a good grasp of the social, political, and religious landscape of India during the 6th century BC. Understanding these factors will help you in answering questions related to the cultural background of India and the emergence of Buddhism. Pay attention to the role of Buddhism in influencing social, religious, and cultural changes. For students preparing for the BUCU 13014 History of Buddhist Culture exam, it's crucial to approach this paper with a clear understanding of the topics covered and the structure expected in your answers. Below are some tips to help you prepare effectively and maximize your chances of success.
Oops.
I think I read that one.
Oh, okay.
Organize your knowledge. Groups related topics together to help make connections between different areas of Buddhist culture. This can help in comparative analysis and understanding the broader impact of Buddhism. 3, structure your answers. Introduction, provide a brief introduction to set the context of your answer. For example, if answering about the Cultural Revolution, give a quick overview of India's socio-religious environment pre-Buddhism. Main body, divide your points into clear paragraphs. Each paragraph should focus on one idea with examples where applicable. And conclusion, summarize the key points made in the essay and tie them back to the question.
Okay, please take a look at this format, like introduction, main body, and conclusion, so that you can better organize your answer. In the main body, you can have subtopics, main points that you want to discuss, and make sure with your allocated time you can explain all these things precisely so that you can write a better answer, organize better.
3,
Yes, please.
3, include examples and analysis. While factual knowledge is important, you will also need to demonstrate your ability to analyze the information. For example, when discussing the Buddhist perspective on politics, don't just describe the ethical principles, analyze their relevance in today's political climate.
Yeah, and also please try to quote from any sutta that you learned. Um, and you can also relate them to present day scenarios. That is okay, your analysis. That way everyone knows that okay, you write your own original thoughts also. um, Explaining things with the theory, like some quotes from, let's say, like Najacha Vasalo Hoti, by birth no one, one doesn't become a Vasala, or outcasts. Najacha hoti brahmano, by birth one doesn't become a brahmin. Then you can also apply that. Explain a little bit, um, in today's context and even in the Buddha's time. You have to explain a little bit more. That way, examples and analysis will be the key to show your scholarship. It will definitely give you a plus point.
4. Use Buddhist texts. Incorporate teachings from Buddhist texts or historical records to support your arguments. Ensure proper citation, as requested in the instructions, to avoid plagiarism.
Yeah, I know. Like in the final exam, we don't need the entire details, but at least let's say like you want to discuss about Satipatthana Sutta, you can say Satipatthana Sutta of Digha Nikaya. You can say actually the exact number of the sutta. That will be nice. Like if you want to say Digha Nikaya 22, or the name of the sutta, Pali, and also the English name if you know, or you can do it either way you can. And then like Majjhima Nikaya 10, Sativat, what do you call, Sammaditthi Sutta or something like that, that way you show your scholarship, historical support, records. Also, like I think that that citation is important when you explain. You don't have to like write the whole thing, even though I have included them in the model answer. But you can just explain even as a simple reference to the code or resources that you use. That will be helpful. Okay.
5. Time management. You are expected to answer 4 questions in 3 hours, which gives you about 45 minutes per question. Allocate your time wisely. Spend the first 5 to 10 minutes planning your answer, outline key points and examples, and the remaining time writing a well-organized response.
I know, like when it comes to like 5, 10, it's a lot of time, but at least maybe 5 minutes, you have to think of the topics that we have covered already can give you enough time to think of a better model answer. And please be ready for some topics already that you have already discussed, like human rights and Buddha's time, the like freedom of thought, uh, the social system in the Buddha's time, caste system or whatever. So you be ready for some environment, economics, so you can be prepared for some topics. You have only 4 questions to answer, so if you are well prepared for 4 questions for 4 subjects, 4 themes, hopefully you will get. I recommend you do a little bit more, because if you prepare only for 4 questions now, then you might lose maybe like 6 or 7 or something topics at least. So hopefully you can outline key points, examples, and analysis. This way your answer can be really well organized. Okay, thank you so much, Kyra, for reading out. And I'm also trying to answer the rest of the questions in the last year. So hopefully that will give you a better understanding um, of. So, okay, yeah, we have some time. Let me go to. It's a very long lesson today, actually, but I thought at least that's also why I wanted to use the group discussion earlier so that we can get some idea of what I will be missing in the presentation. So those lectures those articles actually can be very helpful. As you already know, um, the topics I have covered in those articles. So Buddhist principles and ethical guidance in development. This is one area that I wanted to discuss under this topic. So remember the principles and ethical guidance in development. This context, like economically developing countries, Buddhist principles as guidance and alignment with Noble Eightfold Path. Like everything you do, like you also have to match with your personal life. Noble Eightfold Path, although it's a very lofty doctrine like Paticca you also need to learn how to actively, practically apply those teachings into your personal success. And consequences of unethical pursuit, again, very important to think of it all the time. Unethical pursuit and the consequences. We need to see the dangers of them. And then over here, emotions and cultural expression in Buddhism, as we already touched this topic already, like emotions in Buddhism, loving kindness, compassion, and also anger, jealousy. Um, we have a lot of good and bad, positive, negative, wholesome, unwholesome emotions coming up. We have to deal with it, and then we also need to know how to differentiate them and how to alleviate some negativity, and then how to cultivate the positivity. And then positive emotions, we need to nurture positive emotions and eliminate negative emotions. And then methods of teaching, reason, emotion, imagination, we need to analyze. Paticca Samuppada is a beautiful way to learn more, practically analyze things. Cultural expression of Buddhism, again, a lot of things are there in culture, Buddhist culture. So it's not only those popular aspects of Buddhism like art, language, philosophy also is a part of literature, and philosophy also is a part of Buddhist culture. So this cultural expression can shape you become a better cultured individual. And then role of art in Buddhism, we can't underestimate the power of art here. This is a stupa that I have used here to symbolically express how powerful this Buddhist stupa. The beginning you actually over here, the stupa, there is a moonstone. It's like also symbolically expressing about the so many different defilements that we have. Then you have the steps to go up to the stupa, and those are also like different stages. And then you have these are all cultural, very powerful, rich art expressions. All of them have different expressions, like these what do you call these little things that you can see like triangular shape. That is called clouds. That cloud again is going upward and heavenly or spiritually up. So, and then eventually you can go all the way. Over here, dome shape is like the treasure trove of Dhamma. And then slowly you have different rails here. And then finally you go to the top. to the pinnacle that is the Nibbana. So this art, very powerful medium of communication. Many of those Buddhist art and artifacture, archaeological, uh, things that you need to, symbols that you need to learn a little bit in detail to deepen your comprehension about Buddhism. So very inspiring and elevating when you learn about the art and timeless relevance of Buddhist culture, self-sustaining nature, grounded in timeless truth, ethical framework, and promotion of universal compassion. These are part of the teachings that lessons that we learn through this timeless relevance of Buddhist culture. And then the global influence of Buddhism, we can see like Buddhism has really impacted massively in many different ways to influence people in a positive manner. Buddhist ideologies, profound impact of on Buddhist culture, and part to personal growth, like in the prisons and mainstream societies and in the hospitals and people who are suffering, people who are underprivileged, people even well off, well-to-do families. They are also finding Buddhism very interesting and very rewarding to make their life more compassionate, more generous, and more meaningful, to make their life, a wonderful art of living, like meditations and some of those practices in Buddhism has already impacted in many different ways. Another article here, another theme you can see here, cultivating a balanced personality through Buddha Dhamma, a guide to practical living. Again, I want to reiterate that it is the personal practice that is important, and then also to balance your life, your social life, your personal life, and your business, your family. Everything should be balanced, and you can't really run away from anything just because you're practicing. Your practice should help you, encounter many of your life challenges with more positive frame of mind. Uh, Having that ultimate goal, nibbana, in your bucket list, you can also do so many other smaller steps to go to that ideal final goal. So, ultimate goal and the immediate purpose and harmony with others, environment, and challenges to balance. We have to think of all these things. And then the foundations of Buddhist truth, genuine absolute truths, and then the key skills that we need to promote, self-control, for example, how to better focus, yeah, how not to be carried away by the some of the trends, for example, social media trends. How to still you can control yourself and better focus your emotions. You see the social media posts, let's say like negative posts you see, and then how you are able to maintain your inner peace, to balance and not to be judgmental or discriminative or cultivate anger through that. So that also is very important foundation for success and perspective of lay life. For example, you still can become an enlightened person as a lay person as well. You don't have to, it is not required for you to become a monastic to attain the enlightenment. You can at least go to even Sotapanna or even more, achieve jhanas while practicing your own lay life, while living your own lay life. That is also a possibility. Yeah, so I think doing better job, exercise, eating well, business, studies, you can do all these things, and then still you can go for a better goal. So as we read the Mahamangala Sutta today, we saw how important it is to properly direct mind, following a sound life philosophy and characteristics of balanced person, and promotes harmony eventually. In this beautiful sutta, a very powerful sutta, you can go through that the slides later when I share it, and see how powerful they are. These teachings are for a balanced life. And we were talking about the mindfulness today for the self improvement. So this is again the key, mind's purpose in Buddhism, and importance of self awareness and evaluation of personal qualities and regular practice and habit formation. I think this is really important when we become actively engaged in cultivating our mindfulness. We can make a really powerful impact on our personal level, personal lifestyle. Each and every one of us can make a big, huge difference in our personal lifestyle. And if you see that you are growing, you are changing for the better, you will see everyone around you also feeling that powerful energy, wholesome energy, positive energy of you. So, yeah, I want you to focus on that mindfulness, practice mindfulness every time, while cooking, while writing, while reading, while driving, while eating, even while attending online class. I know as a teacher, online teaching, how difficult it is to to not to be distracted. The students I know, like some people, they just go through internet. While we teach, they go through internet. And how to super glue yourself to the lecture, how to respectfully, maybe meditate, yeah, how to focus our attention. I think this is a real time experience that we need to focus on mindfulness. Very important practical application to mindfulness. So independent thinking of Buddhism, I love this. You, every one of you have the not dependence but independence. You have the freedom to think, and that way, the independent thought, resistance to societal expectations, value of seeking guidance, and ownership of choices. These are all very important for final decision, taking right decision, taking better decisions in life. So I think it is time for us to wind up today. Although I would like to encourage you to maybe later go through. I will still share the entire slideshow about this topic, so that it will help you at least um, to study this better, because this is actually a very lengthy topic. And hopefully the learning, the practice of this concept of Buddhism uh, can be very helpful to everyone. Okay, with that, I would like to call it a day, and thank you everyone for joining us today with this class. I maybe this word. Um, try to make this ripple effect. You know, the continuity of and spreading results of an event or action. You need to make that ripple effect in you. How to make yourself such a powerful person, individual, a cultured individual, so that you can make a big difference in your small society. All right. Thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the class today, and we'll see you again tomorrow. And please um, take some good rest, and also be prepared for the whatever. Okay, for the final exam, and I would like to invite everyone also to express your feeling today with by one word. I don't know why. Okay. Uh, yeah, we discuss about the exam. All right. Thank you, and have a good evening to all of you. Be well and happy and healthy and safe.
Thank you, Bunty.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bante.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bante, I won't be here tomorrow because I have Venerable Kongyang's class.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, I see.
But
She
it
has
was,
a class around this time tomorrow?
yeah, we have class tomorrow because we're making up for missed time in between the retreat and whatnot.
Okay, okay, right. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're coming tomorrow, day after? Oh,
Day after, yes, I'll be here.
okay, all right. Okay. See you then, everyone. Good night.